If you're looking for the most delicious chicken vindaloo recipe with the perfect blend of spices, keep watching because you're going to love this one. Hi, and welcome back to Plating It with Wendy, where I share with you recipes which impress with ease. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, share, and comment. And if you enjoy trying out recipes that turn out right every time, you're at the right place. So go ahead, press that subscribe button. And while you're at it, if you hit the bell icon, you'll be the first to get notified every time I upload a new video. Now, let's get started. Let's start by grinding the curry paste for our chicken vindaloo. And we're first going to grind the dry ingredients. So we're going to go in with 1 teaspoon of black peppercorns, half a teaspoon of black mustard seeds, 6 cloves, 4 green cardamoms, 1 2-inch stick of cinnamon. Just going to break that up before putting it in. And I've just broken it up into smaller bits so that it grinds easily. And now we're going to add 1.5 teaspoon of cumin seeds and 1.5 teaspoon of coriander seeds. Now let's blend this to a fine powder. And now that our dry spices are well blended, let's add in the rest of the ingredients. Vindaloo gets a lot of its flavor from the garlic. So we're going to be adding in a whole head of garlic, which is approximately about 12 cloves. I'm roughly going to chop down the garlic so that it becomes easier to mix in the blender. Just wanted to share with you a little fun fact about vindaloo. It originated in the 15th century when Portuguese sailors carried pork in barrels on their ships to feed them during their long journeys. And to preserve the pork, they marinated it with wine and a lot of garlic. And during the course of their journey, this wine turned into vinegar. That is why the main ingredients of vindaloo is vinegar and garlic. And the Goans took it a step forward to adapt it to their taste and added the spice. And now we're going to add the chopped garlic into the jar. We're going to add 2 inches of ginger to it. And now let's just chop it down also before adding it to the jar. For the spice and that vibrant color, we're going to be adding 12 Kashmiri Chilies. But I've de-seeded 6 of them and left only 6 with the seeds in. Now I've soaked these overnight in 1/3 cup of vinegar. And this is just to hydrate them and give them additional flavor. And now let's add this to the jar with the rest of the ingredients. And I'm adding in the vinegar too. And for a little extra tang, we're going to be adding 3 small tomatoes. And I'm going to roughly chop it down and then add them to the jar. Now the redder the tomatoes, the better, because we're looking for that lovely color as well. If you don't have tomatoes on hand, but you want to substitute by using tomato paste or tomato puree, you could always do that. Now let's add that into the jar. Now let's blend this into a fine paste. Let's just check that. And this is what you're looking for. Beautiful. I'm going in with 750 grams of skinless, boneless chicken thighs. And I've kept a little bit of the fat on for the flavor. Let's cut them into half so that the flavor gets right into the meat. Now you could go in with chicken drumsticks and thighs or the full chicken if you wanted to. Let's season the chicken with some salt. I'm going in with about maybe a teaspoon of salt. And now we're going to add half of that paste that we ground into the chicken. And let's mix it up and marinate the chicken. And before we cover it up and allow it to marinate, let's add in a tablespoon of oil and give it a mix. To a heated skillet on medium-high heat, we're going to add about 4 tablespoons of oil. And to that, we're going to add 1.5 onion, which I have finely chopped. We're going to saute this till the onions caramelize and turn golden. Keep moving the onions around so that they don't burn on one side. You want the onions to caramelize evenly. We are almost there. Just about a minute or 2 more. Okay, now this is looking good. So to this, we're going to add the remaining curry paste. And now let's add in half a teaspoon of turmeric. And you could always add it in while grinding the curry paste, but I like to add it in now so that it does not discolor the lid of my mixer. And now we're going to cook this till the water in the tomatoes dry up and the oil begins to separate. And now that the oil has started separating, we're going to add in the marinated chicken. Now let's mix this up, and for about 5 minutes we're going to cook this on a medium-high heat. Now we're going to reduce the heat and add in 1.5 cups of water, and I've taken the water and rinsed the jar and the lid of the mixer before adding it in, so that we pick up all those flavors that have been left behind. Now let's mix this up and then cover it up and allow it to cook for about 10 to 15 minutes. But while it's cooking, make sure that you stir it occasionally. Wow, look how delicious that's already looking. Just going to cover it up and cook it for a little bit more. To balance the flavors, we're going to add in 2 teaspoons of sugar. Now we're going to give this a stir and allow it to cook for about 5 minutes without the lid on. You could always add the sugar to taste. Just going to give it a stir occasionally. Just look at that gravy. The chicken has cooked, so it's safe for me to taste it. Let's give this a taste and see whether we need to season it any more. Take a little of that. I think a little bit of salt is needed. So we're just going to sprinkle on a little bit more salt and about a tablespoon more of red wine vinegar. Traditionally, vindaloo is made with pork, but chicken vindaloo too tastes really good. And now our chicken vindaloo is ready. It's time to switch off the heat. And now let's plate up the chicken vindaloo. Oh my goodness, look at that. And let's finish it off with some coriander on the top. And now it's time to give this delicious chicken vindaloo a taste. Wow, it's looking so delicious. Just look at that. Want some of that gravy. Gorgeous. Now you can enjoy chicken vindaloo with some pulao or with sanas, and I've made some forgets to enjoy it with. Let's give this a taste now. Wow. I'm going in for the gravy first. Wow, this chicken vindaloo is absolutely delicious. It has that perfect blend of sweet and tangy. I hope you give this recipe a try. So hop onto my website, platingitwithwendy.com, or you can hit on the link in the description box below for the full written recipe. And if you would like me to make the recipe for forgets, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you soon.